I'm Scott Bennett, and this is an Americans Taking Action channel. This is my second video, so bear with me. Now, I wanted to talk about some things. You know, the Christian religious right is a lot responsible for electing Donald Trump. And what I don't understand is how the religious right could elect a man who's been convicted of sexual assault, bragged about grabbing women by their genitals. The Access Hollywood tape on October 6, 2016. And who voted for him? The religious right. We're talking about a perverted, demented person. A sick person. He's talked about his daughter. He's talked about going into the dressing rooms of beauty pageants to see the women naked. He's a dog. He's a dog. And the only thing he thinks about is himself. I mean, it's all about Donald. Since he's come to office, he's profiteered every way possible. I mean, just recently, he had Congress, the Republican Congress, at the Doral, his resort. So they're paying rent to him to come to a conference at his resort. He also had the Board of Peace with a bunch of criminals, dictators, not the kind of people you want on the Board of Peace. And that's all about a money grab too. $1 billion to join the Board of Peace. So they could what? Rebuild Gaza and turn it into a resort. But I'm sure Trump will want to own half of that. Trump is only about money and for himself. He doesn't care how you and I feel. He doesn't care about our gas prices going up. He doesn't care about our food prices going up. He doesn't care about our health insurance prices going up or losing health insurance. He cares about the tax breaks for billionaires like himself. Give tax breaks to the billionaires. Now, he started a war that's costing over $1 billion a day. That could go for health care. That could be lowering food prices. The tariffs just drove our prices through the roof. He had to bail out the farmers. Everything he's done has collapsed. He's a failure at everything. And yet the Republicans in Congress are, I don't know. I've heard of people selling knee pads with Donald Trump's names on it. Because I tell you what, these people are on their knees. And I don't know what they think they're getting out of it. Unless they got some money, some business dealings as well. Which I bet most of them do. I bet you they got business dealings. Lutnick invested with Epstein. There's just so much corruption in this administration. And it's right there in your face. Donald Trump isn't even sneaky about it. He's basically saying, I'm going to screw you over, and you're going to like it. And I'm the greatest. And he's a piece of shit. He don't care how anybody else feels. He just cares what he can put in his pocket, how he could enrich himself and his family and his buddies. The Epstein class. The ones that molest and abuse little girls. And get away with it because they're rich. That's that sickness, that depravity of these rich billionaires think they can do whatever they want. And because they have everything, they might as well be sick and depraved too, because they can get away with it. I don't know. I don't think we should let them get away with it. I think Howard Lutnick, and just look at the whole cabinet. He's got a cabinet of morons. Pam Bondi can't answer a question about the Epstein files. Oh, the list is on my desk. a year ago. Can't release them. Can't even follow the law and release the files. They still haven't released them all. Now, little by little, some of this stuff's starting to dribble out about Donald Trump. No matter how many times he says he's been absolved, he isn't. Just like he said Iran's nuclear capacity was obliterated. Well, if it was obliterated, why are we there now? Why? Because Benjamin Netanyahu found a willing American president to help him persecute a war against Iran? Now, Iran is not a good country. I've hated them since '79. I remember the Iran hostage crisis. I was a 16-year-old carpenter working in Northern Virginia listening to Howard Stern on DC 101, talking about nuking Iran and nuking the Ayatollah. And I was all for that back then. And the regime hasn't gotten any better. They killed like 30,000 people recently, protesters. But look at Trump. He's taking a lesson of that. He's killed protesters too with his ICE raids. We don't have Gestapo in this country. Every other police force in this country doesn't wear a mask. Unless they're an undercover officer going for an arrest, they might wear a mask to protect their undercover identity. But the rest of them won't be masked. They're masked so they don't have to be accountable. They're actually teaching them classes trained to violate the Constitution deliberately. They are teaching ICE agents to deliberately violate the Constitution and to violate people's rights. They're undertrained. They're acting, you know what they are, they're a bunch of goons. They're a bunch of proud boys or a bunch of angry little men or they're a bunch of bullies is what they are. They're violent thugs. So they found a job that they could go ahead and be a violent thug and assault other Americans and get away with it. Well, I'm telling you, we're not going to let them get away with it. Like I said, March 28th, the No Kings protest is going to be nationwide and it's going to be lit. There's going to be one here in Stanton, Virginia. They're starting off at the courthouse, marching up to the Democratic headquarters, and then going to the park and having a rally. It sounds really fun. But I'm going to be in D.C. It's a 3-hour drive, 150 miles. But D.C.'s where the action's going to be at. I got 2 camera crews, and we're going to be out there interviewing protesters, recording speeches. We're going to be there in the middle of it, letting you know what real Americans taking action looks like. Because that's what's happening on March 28th. It's a bunch of Americans taking action against this evil regime. I hope to see you there. If not, I hope you'll subscribe and like this message. There's more to come because we're just getting started. Thank you.